Kumar, that people who are helped through Calvary Temple, through any of the roll-ins that we've seen, that their family members that don't know the Lord
Yes.
then begin to ask questions. Where
Why?
is this place?
Yes.
Who is this pastor? Does
Yes.
that happen? Is that one of the
It's very
reasons
much
why you've
happening.
grown?
See, when all these things, when a birthday cake is given to a mother who is coming to our church, it affects son, daughter-in-law, daughter, son-in-law, entire family. We couldn't do this one, bound to the same person. But who are they? They send a cake, and she's so happy, and we need to go to this place.
Wow.
That is so. The same thing with burial, the funeral services. Who will do all these things? Why they do love so much? They provide everything. We provide coffin box, vehicle, and everything. Why they do so much for free of cost? This is a place of God's love. Let's go and experience it. That's the reason we see multitude of people come to experience the love of God. And that is what we do it.
You know, I think that many times ministers miss it when it comes to funerals. That's the time when people are the most tender. That's when unsaved loved ones come. And that's when people are thinking about eternity. But a lot of ministers are thinking, oh, I don't want to offend anybody. Let me tell you something. A person's soul is more important than you worrying about whether you are offending somebody. And if you say it in love and you share from your heart, they're not going to be offended. So please take advantage, capitalize on an opportunity during a loss of a loved one to share the good news of Jesus and salvation, because that's the only way they're going to be in eternity with that loved one, as if they're both in heaven. Let's go to the next roll-in. I know you're enjoying this. I know that I am too.
Calvary Temple Transport Fleet. Every Sunday, Calvary Temple provides transportation facility to the thousands of people, and especially the elderly who need to walk from the main road or the bus stop to the church. Help in times of need. In the year 2009, there was a great flood in the town of Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh, India. Hundreds were rendered homeless and thousands were stranded without food and water. Dr. Satish Kumar wanted to be a blessing to them and hence rushed to the city to provide food, clothing, and other necessary supplies that would last them a month. Dr. Satish Kumar and Calvary Temple was able to show the love of God through their deeds. Also, during the cyclonic storm that struck the city of Vizag in India and decimated several homes and churches, Calvary Temple stepped forward to rebuild and reconstruct 12 of these churches. Calvary Temple's acts of charity. As you can now see, Calvary Temple team members are providing food and supplies to several hundreds of needy people. This is done almost twice every week by visiting these people in various hospitals and providing blankets, food packets, and other supplies to the homeless, orphans, and destitutes who are in need. Calvary Temple Summer Refreshments. In the midsummer season, it gets really hot and the temperature shoots up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. During this time, Calvary Temple provides water and buttermilk to refresh and quench the thirst of several people who pass by the temple premises. This has earned Calvary Temple a good name and goodwill amongst the non-Christians as well.
You know, something that I don't think is on the roll-ins, but that Pastor Kumar shared with me that is so amazing. One is every church member is issued an access card. Pastor's got one right here. I'm going to just show it to you. And so when you go to Calvary Temple, you walk through the doors, you swipe the card, and so there's an electronic record of your attendance. And so if you're a member and you miss a Sunday,
Yes.
then you've got it on a computer immediately. You know who it is that did not show up. And then what do?
We do follow up. Most of the time, pastors, what they do is they only count those who come, but they don't mind those who are absent. We need to prevent the leaking water in order to fill the tank or fill the pot. That is what I do it. I make sure that nobody misses on Sunday. And I asked God, how is this possible? Because it's such a big church. So God gave me the grace to understand there's a technology we can use. This is introduced in our temple, not now. 2007 itself, I have introduced this. Thereby, I'm able to protect those who are absent on that Sunday. The next day we call them, we find them. What happened yesterday? Maybe they are sick, met with an accident, or financial crisis, some sort of problem. So when we ourselves call them and find out why you haven't come last Sunday, they were so touched. They were so impressed. You see, they care for us. We couldn't go yesterday to the church, but they call us and they find. If they were hospitalized, we call ourselves and find out why you haven't come.
Wow.
And they are so comforted. Brother, we are in the hospital. My wife is admitted in the hospital. Please pray for. And as we pray for them, they get healed by God. The next Sunday, they make sure they come back to the church because we care for them.
Fantastic.
So that is how I introduced the access card system. Every member will have this access card. Thereby, nobody misses on Sundays.
Let me just tell you, if I pastored a local church, I would do that. That is
Yes.
one of the most brilliant ideas I've ever heard of, because it becomes an avenue for ministry. Because when the people don't come and there's a reason and you're able to minister to them, that's so powerful. Now, because I'm in television, this next thing that Dr. Kumar does is just, I love it, love it, love it. Tell the viewers about the daily prayer time on television.
Right. Because I can't have home cells, groups, or all these things, I make sure that morning 5 o'clock, I appear on the television. And all our church members, they get up morning 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And 5 to 5:30, I teach on television every day in their houses, so that I'm available to them. I teach them, and they pray along with me. Evening 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 10:30, 365 days. I make sure all our church members come together before television, meditate the word, pray along with me, pray as a family, so that they don't miss me. They're always with me every day. Every day morning 5 to 6:30, our church is open for an hour with God. Every day morning. Every evening 6 to 8 o'clock, our church is open. We have prayer, praising, and preaching. 365 days, morning and evening,
Wow.
we preach. Our temple is open. Not only that, every Friday we all fast and pray for the well-being of the church members. Every month, we call it as a night with God. Jesus spent entire night with God all the time. I call our church members to let us spend at least one night with God. Do you know, brother? Over 25,000 people come and join with me to pray entire night for nation, for state.
So all night long you pray?
Yes, we all pray,
Wow.
share the word, and they enjoy the presence of God. That is the biggest all-night prayer in India with over 25,000 people. Every month it happens.
Beautiful. Joni, I know you have such love for people. How does this bless you hearing all of this?
I love it. And I was thinking about a pastor who may be watching, or someone that maybe you pastor a church and you've become discouraged.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted you, Dr. Kumar, if you would share your story of years ago of coming to America and believing God that Americans would help support the mission and what you were doing in
Right.
India,
Right.
and what happened, and how sometimes when our prayers aren't answered, that God may have a bigger plan in mind, and maybe encourage someone that's listening.
Right. I used to come to America from 2000 to 2007. Almost 5-6 times I came to America. Though I came to land of plenty, but I was empty. For some reason, I couldn't raise support. 8 years back, I went back from this country with tears because I couldn't raise $400 per month. I was on television. They're asking me $100 per program, $400 per month. I couldn't raise $400 per month. I went back to India. I prayed only one prayer. If you're a God of America, Australia, Africa, Europe, you're a God of India too. I fall on my knees at your feet. Please bless me and make me a blessing to my nation. I will not turn to people. If I depend upon a person, an organization, or the church, I only get what they can give. But if I depend upon you, I get what you can give. Lord, here I am. Do whatever you want to do in my life. As I prayed that prayer, God asked me to start the Calvary Temple with 25 people, as we have seen, reached 125,000 members. But then, 2012, God asked me to lay the foundation stone for Calvary Temple. And He said He's going to build it in 52 days' time. And the land what we purchased, The temple which we built is built with Indian money. If only we believe in Jesus Christ, if only we trust in Him, resources will come, money will come. All that I understood is preach Christ crucified. When Peter came to Jesus Christ, he said, Jesus, we need to pay the taxes. And Jesus said, go and fish, and you will find a coin. You pay for yourself and you pay for me also. That really taught me great lessons. Money is there, but in fish. All that we need to do is catch the fish.
Yes.
And all these years, what I did is I invested money in souls. I never saved money. Even now, though having such a big church, I don't have my own house. I don't have properties. But I invested money in souls, preaching Christ crucified all the time. Now, millions of people came to the Lord through my ministry. So when I needed the land, they came forward to sow the seed. When I wanted to build the church in 52 days by God's grace, they came forward and they built the church. So this is how prayer resulted. And before we built 52 days the church, we fasted and prayed for 4 months in the rain. The footings will tell you how we prayed. If you want to see that footing, how we prayed in the rain.
Okay, and one of the things that you share with me is that, okay, I think this one is going to be on the video. So let's go to the next video and be blessed.
Calvary Temple visiting hours. Despite having the burden and responsibility of such a great ministry, Dr. Satish Kumar desires to meet his church members personally and hence takes time daily during the visiting hours to meet with them, understand their problems and pray for their needs. People can meet Dr. Satish Kumar straight away without any recommendations or appointments. People who come to meet up with him are treated with great care and the Calvary team provides refreshments for them. Pastors Honorarium. Wherever Calvary meetings are held, thousands of people attend these meetings and hundreds of pastors also extend their support for the benefit of these crusades. During the crusades, Dr. Satish Kumar and his wife invite all the pastors onto the dais and appreciate their efforts and give each of them a piece of suit. Till date, 10,700 pastors have received a piece of suit, and also pastors who have a church of over 100 members have received a sound system for their respective churches. Dr. Satish Kumar, his wife and his sons, Suhas Prince and Sahas Prince, are mightily used by God in these crusades.
So you saw him using the access cards there, and did you get that? When he goes and does these crusades and hundreds of pastors come and support it, every pastor is given a suit. How nice. How generous is that? Pastors need
I have a
suits.
story behind that.
Tell
when
us.
I came to America, I couldn't come in a new suit. I would go to Goodwill store and buy $5 suits.
Wow.
And it used to, new suit and new old suit and old boot is what I used to get from here. But I always desire, Lord, I know how difficult it is to go through this, but I want to be a blessing to pastors. So help me and enable me. Wherever I go with a new suit so that they can wear it. They're not my pastors, but they're localites. But then I call all these pastors on the dais and I tell hundreds and thousands of people, as I love your pastor, take care of his needs. So when I go to these meetings, pastors are so excited because I'm going to bless them and also enable the church members to bless the pastors. That's how I try to minister to entire nation. But you got to show about 52 days how the church is built. That is very important for the globe to know.
Another neat thing that he does, and maybe you can tell us about it, is how you meet people in between the church services.
Yes. I don't miss newcomers because they're the people who come the first time. I make sure between these services, I go and meet all the newcomers and I pray for them. I invite them to Calvary Temple. Likewise, every Sunday, 5,000 to 6,000 newcomers come to church. As a result of that, I personally go and meet them, personally go and pray for them and invite them back to church.
Wow.
But because of that reason, last 2.5 years, our church got 60 to 70,000 new members.
Wow.
So 2012, we had 50,000 members, but 2015, in 2.5 years' time, 60 to 70,000 new members are added because of personal touch with the newcomers.
And so you've been able to watch Daystar many times in India, is that correct?
Yes, earlier days, but now because as we had problem with the local transmission, but soon I believe that Daystar is going to
We're
be
working on that.
everywhere.
All right, we want to give all these prayer requests to Dr. Kumar. To God be the glory for all of this. I'm sharing this with you today to not lift up a man, but to lift up God. Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. And I want you pastors to be encouraged, and I want you to be inspired. And I want to share these ideas with you so you can pray about using some of those in your church. And it may be that something he's doing may inspire you to do something even different. But at least it's given you the inspiration and the passion, and it's given you the proof that it will work and that it will make a great impact.